Hello, and thank you for your interest in British Standard 25,700 Organizational Responses to Modern Slavery. I am Professor Alexander Troutrams, and together with my colleague Dr. Akila Jardine, I've been co-chairing the drafting committee for this standard. British Standard 25,700 is the world's first national standard against modern slavery. It's a guidance standard for organizations, helping them to manage the risk of modern slavery in a systematic manner. Crucially, it begins with explaining risk factors and workers' vulnerabilities, really putting people at the core of this standard. Modern slavery needs to be managed differently to other risks that organizations are facing. And effective modern slavery risk management really needs to consider the risk to people and not just the risks to the corporation. It also needs to understand the context in which the organization operates, the countries where it operates, the types of workers, and the types of supply chains that it's operating. The standard is not in competition with international and national frameworks, but it is based firmly within the landscape of the UN Guiding Principles and the evolving national legislation. It wants to help organizations to comply with their obligations under these frameworks and beyond, and help them to implement meaningful responses within their own organizations and within their supply chains. Key to the standard is to look at modern slavery responses as an integrated management system that identifies risks and coordinates activities across the relevant functions in the organization. This is particularly important as modern slavery responses require support from a range of functions within the organization. And too often we see organizations having activities scattered across the organization without the necessary coordination. The standard covers a wide range of anti-slavery activities. For example, identifying appropriate people, roles, responsibilities, and resources, the drafting of policies and the implementation, and the understanding of how to identify, analyze, evaluate, and respond to modern slavery risks. The committee brought together about 50 experts from businesses, NGOs, also public sector practitioners, and academics. And they were coming both from the anti-slavery community and the risk management community. Expert contributors were based in the UK, but also in other parts of the world, and we had a really worldwide response to the public consultation. As a result of this, the standard is very comprehensive and includes many recommendations by world-leading experts in this field. It also recognizes that organizations have different resource levels and that organizations have different modern slavery risk exposures depending on the type and size and reach of the organizations. We really want users of the standard not to feel overwhelmed by the comprehensiveness of the standard, but instead use it in a way that helps them to identify their priority areas and use the most relevant content in the standard for their priority areas. Once again, thank you for your interest in British Standard 25,700, and I really hope it will be helpful for your work towards the eradication of modern slavery.